We move into our second question. This is the best out of three. Ready? Oyala, a planned city located in the rainforest 65 miles east of Bata, is being built as a new capital for which African country? I'll repeat that. Oyala, a planned city located in the rainforest 65 miles east of Bata, is being built as a new capital for which African country? You have 12 seconds.
Girls, what y'all trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe so clear. Look out! Pop, pop, it's showtime. Showtime, showtime, showtime. Guess who's back again? Oh, they don't know. Oh, they don't know. I bet they know as soon as we walk in. Showed up, I'm wearing Cuban links. Yeah. Designer mix. Yeah. Englewood's finest shoes. Whoop, whoop. Don't look too hard, might hurt yourself. Known to give the color.
This student here has hours of psychology outlining to do, but he has a huge test tomorrow too. So how does he get it done?
Of course I'm going to study for my psych test. I mean, there's nothing else that I could do. It's either you study or you get a bad grade. I don't see there's any in between, and I mean, it's not like I could cheat anything. It's like, that's like some type of movie stuff. That's not real. I mean, it'd be pretty nice if I could try, but don't want to get caught, right? I mean, if you do that, you're gonna get caught.
You think cheating is something in the movies, is that right? Well, that's actually really funny to me, because that's not true. And if you wanted to get an upper hand on your psychology test, you could. The question is, how do people cheat, and why do people cheat to get an advantage in the educational system? Well, we could start off by telling you that in a survey of 2,400 students, Rutgers University found that 64% of students admitted to cheating on a test, 58% admitted to plagiarism, and 95%, a whopping 95%, said they've participated in some form of cheating. So, it's not something in the movies, it's something very, very common.
Now we went around and asked a couple of students about if cheating is truly justified, meaning is there a backing up for cheating, or is it just some type of terrible thing that kids like to do? You'll be surprised at the responses. Some kids said it is justified, and some kids said that it simply was not. Let's listen in on their perspectives and let's learn a little bit about them.
So what's your opinion on the role of cheating to get an advantage in the education system, and what do you think cheating really is?
With regards to cheating in high school, I personally think the cheaters only hurt themselves because they're pretending to display knowledge they do not have, and that's really only going to come back to bite them.
What is your opinion on the education system and using cheating to get advantage over other people, and what cheating really is? Go on.
So in the education system, these days people might go the distance to try to achieve as much as they can. Like sometimes it might come to even cheating on assignments just to get good grades and stuff so they can make it to college. Like today it's definitely harder to get into college than it was back then because there's a lot higher held standards for kids these days because as we improve as a human race and we continue to advance, that's why those standards have been raised so much. So when people don't feel like they're achieving as much as where the standard is set, they might resort to cheating or anything else that'll help them achieve and gain an unfair advantage.
We did a little social experiment to evaluate the role of cheating in today's student school society. And what we did is we gathered some data on some kids' schedules, saw what classes they were taking, which ones they were struggling in the most. And we did some homework ourselves. And we arranged this homework and we gave it to kids. And we were like, okay, you don't want to do your homework? Here's the homework. Just to evaluate how readily cheating was accepted by the students in the school. And the results were truly shocking because a lot of students did accept the homework we had done for them.
Numbers are alarming. Every student will face down the temptation to cheat on an assignment in his or her lifetime. By this point, turning in fake papers, copying the work of others, and outright plagiarism has sadly grown inescapably woven into the education sector. But, unsurprisingly, statistics abound regarding the whats, hows, and whys behind academic dishonesty, and many of these statistics will surprise those who find such actions deplorable. All schools have honor codes. Middle schools, high schools, and colleges. Middle school and high school, it may be okay, you may have warnings, but in college, violating the honor code is a strict offense. However, 60.8% of polled college students, in a sample pool of 30,000 people, admitted to cheating in a 2007 poll. Out of that number, 16.5% do not regret it, felt no guilt whatsoever for their breach of their ethics. It did not go into any detail regarding why, of course, but one wonders if today's culture of entitlement and success, without regard to the well-being of others, plays a major role in such callous attitudes. With so many scholarships, awards, internships, and other incentives at stake, it's entirely possible that those reporting no regrets considered their actions justified when rewarded for their quote-unquote successes. Yes, as Machiavelli has put it, the ends justify the means. And in fact, the ends do justify these means. Statistics also show that cheaters have higher GPAs. Look to Fordham University. They found in 2014 that cheaters have an average of 25% higher GPAs than students who do not cheat. But this raises one main question. Is the main factor for the steady outbreak in academic cheating incentives promoted within the students' own systems at school?
We then asked teachers how prevalent cheating is in the school system.
Unfortunately, I think it is widespread. I remember when I started teaching 15 years ago and I heard about cheating going on, and I was really disappointed because when I grew up, I really don't think it was rampant like it is now.
Do you think the issue of academic cheating within the school system is?
I think as students get older, as they go from middle to high school, I think probably it's a very high rate of cheating in the schools.
I know you have experience teaching in the collegiate level, so how prevalent is cheating in that setting as well?
You know, I'd almost say it's worse, and part of that is depending on the college you're at, you are a little bit more anonymous in a college classroom than you are in a high school classroom. And I think the more anonymous you feel, perhaps the easier it is morally for you to make that decision to cheat. It's certainly difficult to supervise 90 people taking a test all at once. I do think in the end you only end up hurting yourself when you cheat because you're not learning that material, and then when you go on to take another class, you don't perform well. And I think it's actually impossible to cheat your way through life. So I think it will catch up eventually. But I do think it's probably easier to do in a college setting.
So even with the higher higher punishments in the college setting, it doesn't deter anymore.
You know, it's hard to carry through on punishment that goes with cheating, I think, at any point, because there must be solid evidence to accuse someone of doing that. And it is tough sometimes to collect solid evidence of cheating.
How prevalent is academic cheating in school, and how big of an issue do you think it is?
I'm very certain that it's a major issue in almost any school. There's a lot of competition, and students are trying to find the easy way around some things. I would say that there are a lot of really dedicated students who really do the work and become victims of the cheating because people are asking them for help, and they don't want to be socially banned for that kind of activity.
Then we asked teachers, what are the main driving factors for students in school to cheat?